from somewhere around the planet or somewhere around the world. It's Mike from around the world. Mike, how you doing tonight?
Doing good, Pastor Paul. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. I'm having a great time. Been preaching and talking, and just glad to have you here tonight. And wow, Mike. Okay, let's start with this, Mike. This thing that's coming in the sky, it has no tail. It is not releasing nickel. The emissions are not nickel and iron like comets do. It's just pure nickel. It has what looks like a headlight in the front of it. And it's the size of Manhattan, and it's the fastest object that's ever entered our solar system. What are we dealing with here?
Well, speculation is what we have thus far, right?
Yes.
I guess that's why the emphasis is to keep an open mind about it. But as it gets closer, we'll see more and more. I do believe that because I've been looking into the reflective surface of this thing.
Okay.
If indeed that's reflective surface, keep in mind that's IR, infrared. So infrared is not exactly your normal light spectrum. We can't see IR. Right.
Okay, right. Or we're not being shown it. Right. Well,
right.
Now, okay. Now that's James Webb right here. Okay. And I'm going to show you what came off the big observatory. This and BP Earthwatch took that and he ran it through filters to try to figure out what the compound are around it. Okay. Yeah. But again, it's way out there. We don't know yet. So you've been studying the reflective material?
Yeah, I've been looking at it. Some of the gas emissions, some of the carbon dioxide and carbon, water, 2.7 microns size water, and carbon below 4.3 microns, and watching for some of the outgassing. Of course, they're looking for a jet, but the jet's pointing toward the sun, right?
Right.
This object does not fit the standard comet. It doesn't fit any comet model. None. Right.
Wow.
Because I already checked that data. That just doesn't fit it. So because it does not fit that data, people are in the dark as far as all these anomalies. Right. Mm-hmm. So it's going to take a much closer observation to really get to see this. I'm looking at the surface because I was looking at the position of the sun, the reflectivity of that surface, and trying to see if it were, like a mirror, if it's a large space. I did find this out because it is reflecting, right? Because it is lit up in the front. People could be totally wrong about the size. Absolutely wrong about the size.
You mean it could be smaller or bigger?
It could be bigger, much bigger, or it could be smaller. So determining the size is going to be difficult because of that reflectivity. Once it gets closer, they can determine the nature of it. They can begin to do, see what the gases are actually coming off of this thing and have a clearer picture. I do suspect that certain agencies, they have had a close look at this thing. I say that because James Webb takes, you know what a thumbnail is, right?
Yes, yes.
So what the people are seeing is a thumbnail, not the actual image.
Yes.
Right? The actual image of that object is part of that is classified. So no university, none of those folks are going to get that certain images off that.
Okay.
Only they will, because it will carry the identity of all emissions from that object. And it has, obviously, it has a lack of water. It does not fit the water coming off that thing is just not enough. The carbon is just not enough. Other materials not enough. Though this huge jet coming out the front, it's an anomaly. The path of it is strange. Its timing is strange. It looks deliberate. It does. Many things about it looks quite deliberate, right? So it's going to take some additional data, lots of data to create, because if we're looking at something that could be natural, but in a different category altogether. It's going to take a different modeling system to identify further objects like that, right? That's why it's important to get all the data they can get from this thing, all of it. Because if they don't get the data, we're going to revisit this over and over and over again, right? And then at some point, it could be something we don't want to see.
When you say we're going to, when you say we're going to visit it over and over, are you saying because there's more of them coming?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So in other words, we need to start figuring these things out because is this part of, Mike, the massive cloud of whatever these things that
No, this is not. This is not.
Okay.
No.
But there's more of these coming. There's more of these.
Yes. Oh yeah. And, I'm looking at numbers, and I do have to admit that I guess anybody who's read the Principia Mathematica by Isaac Newton, they understand because he's the guy that extracted all the mathematics to see what was happening with the planets and how they were interacting and what was doing what. Of course, the only thing he couldn't figure out, he said this must be God doing his thing from time to time, which was some of the orbit of the Earth. As it goes by Jupiter, it gets sucked into Jupiter, elongating our orbit. So he knows at some point we're going to get slung out into space.
Wow.
He knows that. And that was in there. But this is the guy that determined mathematically what was happening in our solar system, which was quite an amazing feat. So anyway, he had his methods and models were very important. So this thing, though, does not follow any of that, and it's going to require a lot more data. A lot more data from all types of people. But I will say this. Have you noticed a trend? It's very difficult to extract information from mainstream scientists.
Right.
Because they're going to academically release information based on their principled interest and their bias. But the Christian community is considering all aspects. That's what's really needed. Yeah. We need biased and unbiased views, and we need that, or people are not going to know what's going on. But I'll say this, either way, this thing is going to cause some problems. Just watch and see. It'll cause some issues.
It's going to come too close to, I believe it's Jupiter, Mars, and Venus. I think that's the three. It's going to cause some trouble. You're saying it's going to do something. Is it going to hurt? Is it going to do something to the Earth or the sun?
I'm this thing, many things could happen, right? But it's not by itself. It's not by itself. And it's already, because it's so compact, obviously, what happens when the sun's, because it should be outgassing already, right?
Yeah.
It's at a distance now where it's warm enough now where it should sublimate in the water vapor. It's not sublimating. It's not doing that at all. So something could be covering the water. Maybe it doesn't have water, but it's certainly of a different nature. And it has junk around it. I know everybody's looking at the core of this object, but there's junk with it.
Okay.
It's not by itself. So it's going to cause some increased gases in our solar system. There's no guarantee that it's going to, just come in and not be hit by anything either. And it's far too close. It's far too close for something to hit it. Because if it were to hit something, it's going to put it right to the positioning of our orbit. This thing is moving fast. So it's if it hits something, it's going to knock it right in. The chances of it hitting something into us, it's going to be pretty high.
So if it hits something, meaning some other asteroid or some other
smaller object,
but could knock it off its trajectory toward
us, or knock the object towards us.
I gotcha.
Then that's one of my biggest fears. Is something that a lot of people will not discuss. But when these objects are coming into the solar system, they could hit parts of, asteroids. They could hit just about anything. And when they do, we're going to get we get the grunt of this. At some point, we know it's going to happen. Right?
Wow.
We know that's going to happen.
Yep. Well,
when the stars, in the Bible, when the stars fall from heaven to earth, like figs from a tree when shaken of a mighty wind, that's just going to mess us up. Yep. Right?
Yep.
When hail, fire mingled with blood are cast into the earth, and all the green grass is burnt up, that's going to cause some issues.
Yes, it is.
Who can survive that, by the way? If all the green grass is burnt up, that's going to just wipe out a big part of the population if it's here. So we're going to have some sort of event anyway that will depopulate. It's just going to take people off the earth.
It will, yes. Okay, now let's talk about this, Mike. While that's happening, today, it is actually yesterday, they went ahead and released that they found a Jupiter-sized rogue planet has been detected. It's entering our solar system. This isn't this other thing. This is a planet the size of Jupiter. They actually say they found another one that's 13 times bigger than Jupiter, but this one here is just now entering our solar system. Mike, what is this?
Yeah, the one that data was confirmed by multiple individuals, by the way, and so yeah, it's supposed to be. It's headed towards our solar system, right? The language is kind of muddy. But yeah, it's headed towards our solar system, and I believe they verified through various techniques.
Well, they used Pan-STARRS telescope in Hawaii.
VLTs.
VLT out of Chile and the European Southern Observatory as well. So all of them was confirming. There are probably some other people confirming too, but in other words, what you're saying is there's a lot more eyes on it, and they're all confirming this thing is a huge...
Yeah, so it's headed here. It's headed. They need to print the distance, though, so people can have an understanding of what time element they're dealing with. But but it's not by itself. It's not by itself. Okay. We're in a different, we're in a different part of existence, and we're headed towards a lot of debris, a lot of material, right? A lot of objects. We have objects here in our solar system they're still not talking about. Something is out there that is, it's pretty big. I'd say it's the size of the moon, right? But with the sun being, how the sun is positioned, it's very difficult to see. So something weird is happening within our solar system. They have yet to really put that out to anybody, right? And I believe that without explanation, no articles, people will just look up. They're going to start seeing it more and more. So they will start seeing it more and more.
Is this Planet X?
No, it's not Planet X. Okay. But we're in different times.
Absolutely.
So we can expect to be drawn. Just imagine this solar system being drawn into another solar system. You can expect quite a bit of things. And suppose it's a mirror solar system like this one. Wow. And it has an asteroid belt, right?
Oh no.
So we're getting into a very
So you think that's why Jesus said there's going to be a time, such a tribulation, a time like we've never ever had before nor ever will again? Was he prophesying to us that there's a time coming that all hell's going to break loose, basically? I mean, the sun's going to be pouring out a heat, our ozone's going to fall apart, our magnetosphere is going to get off, we're going to get all kinds of rocks and asteroids and things slinging into us. We may even get knocked off orbit. I don't know. I mean, Jesus basically warned us that there is a time coming like we have no imagine. Is that true?
He did. In the book of Isaiah states that there's coming a time when it'll be more precious for a man to find another human being than to have all the gold and silver on earth. I'm paraphrasing, of course, but it's going to be very rare for one person to find another. Can you imagine that? That means the earth is utterly empty of people. The people are gone. And so given what we're about to face, and I believe that Jesus, he spoke about not only the times that are harsh, but the time we're into right now, because in the book of Daniel, for example, when Michael stands up,
yes,
it says there's going to be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that time. And Jesus said the same thing, that it'll be the worst time there ever has been on the face of the earth, or will be after it. Right. Yep. So we're going into a very different time, and we can see the development of it. Half spiritual, I'll say all spiritual, but manifesting physically right now as we speak. It's getting like that.
Mike, this has been a powerful evening. I really appreciate it. Once again, some great information for us and to help us all as Christians to work together, to pull together, and to be strong in the Lord and in the power of His might. And if we'll just walk in the anointing of the Spirit of God and stand our ground, but do it in the love and the understanding and compassion of Christ to make a difference in somebody's soul. That's what we're called to do. That's what we're supposed to do. So, Lord willing, we'll see you next week.
All right, Pastor. It's always an honor. Thank God for this ministry and you, brother.
Well, the honor is all mine. Trust me on that. God bless you, brother. Thank you.
All right.
Amen.
God bless.